Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Ain't seen you for a couple of days. You know what? I've been a bit anxious coming on camera just because of my hair. My hair's in an absolute mess and I need to get this bush shaved off. And hopefully it will once my barbers are back. At the minute, there are some barbers that are open, but they're taking it by appointment, and I haven't made an appointment. So hopefully this day can open up, so then we can go get a haircut. There might be a few open now. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't think they are. I think they're still shut. So give it another couple of weeks and hopefully they'll be open, and then we can go get a haircut. But yeah, let's talk some boxing, guys. Terence Crawford says that he will destroy Errol Spence, and he could destroy Errol Spence on the inside. Errol Spence will beat Terence Crawford as far as I'm concerned. I've said this. I've stayed consistent. Initially, I thought that, you know what, Terence Crawford, that would win. But you know what, I actually now seen Terence Crawford's fights. I've observed recent fights. I've observed his old fights. And I just don't think Terence Crawford's going to win that fight. A lot of people talk about Terence Crawford's boxing ability and the fact that Terence Crawford he's got a lot more to him. Yes, he's overall a better fighter, better boxer than Errol Spence. He's got southpaw. He can box southpaw. He's a great switcher, box orthodox. He's got a lot more wrinkles to him. However, Errol Spence don't give a crap about that. Errol Spence don't give a crap about, Terence Crawford southpaw. He can box southpaw, he can box orthodox, the wrinkles, because all Errol Spence is going to do is walk this guy down. And if Terence Crawford can't hurt or stop Errol Spence in his tracks, which I don't think he will be able to, because he's not physically strong enough or he doesn't punch hard enough, I think Errol Spence is going to walk him down and beat him up. And I believe Errol Spence will stop Terence Crawford. Simple as that. That's my opinion, and I've been quite consistent with it. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I've been quite consistent with that school of thought, that I just think Terence Crawford is too strong. I think Errol Spence is too strong for Terence Crawford. It's simple as that. That's not hating on Terence Crawford. I just don't think that he's going to be able to keep Errol Spence off of him. I think Errol Spence is too strong, punches too hard, he's too big. And I just don't think Errol Spence, I just don't think Terence Crawford has got got enough physical strength. I don't think he punches hard enough to keep Errol Spence off of him. And that's a big problem, because Errol Spence is going to keep walking you down. He don't care about you doing your fancy stuff. He's going to get on the inside and look to beat you up. Now, Terence Crawford says he could beat Errol Spence up on the inside. No, you can't. Errol Spence is too physically strong. He's too big, right? And I just think he'll wear Crawford down. Crawford doesn't want this fight to be on the inside. He wants it to be long. If he's going to beat Errol Spence, he's going to have to beat him on points, and he's going to have to keep it long. If Errol Spence starts getting to him, walking him down, which I believe he will, and not giving Terence Crawford any space, then to me that's Errol Spence's kind of fight. And I don't think this fight, if this becomes a dog fight where they're both fighting, that's Errol Spence is going to win that fight all day long, because Errol Spence is the physically stronger man. He holds a better shot, he punches harder, and Terence Crawford's in big trouble. If Terence Crawford goes in there, he can outman, or he can go in there and physically try to impose himself on Errol Spence. He's going to be in big trouble, because he can't physically impose himself on Errol Spence. Errol Spence is too big, too strong. He's a natural welterweight. He punches very hard. And Crawford, as we've seen, his chin's a bit suspect. Spence's chin's very good. So I think there's big trouble for Terence Crawford if he goes in there thinking he can strength or look to outman Errol Spence, because it's not happening. Errol Spence punches too hard. He's too big, and I've always said of recent I've said that Errol Spence is going to win that fight by knockout. And I don't think anything Crawford does from now on is going to change my opinion, just because of the fact that I believe that I've seen weaknesses in Terence Crawford's arsenal. And I don't think he has the ability, I just don't think he's going to be able to keep Errol Spence off of him. Forget the ability. I just don't think he's going to keep Errol Spence off of him. I think Errol Spence is too big, too strong, punches too hard. And I think Crawford's going to be in big trouble when Errol Spence starts landing big shots on his chin, and that's what I think is going to be the difference. And that's why I think Errol Spence will win the fight by knockout. But listen, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you disagree? Do you agree? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Guys, what's going on? Guys, there's a lot of the media. There's certain fighters that are pushing the rhetoric that Terence Crawford is the best welterweight in the world, right? I have a serious problem with that, and a lot of Crawford fans are going to call me haters and say you're a Crawford hater. Who's Crawford fought at welterweight? Who's Terence Crawford fought at welterweight? Jeff Horn, Amir Khan, Benavidez. These are his marquee wins at welterweight, right? Yeah. Manny Pacquiao's got a better win at welterweight than Crawford. Errol Spence has got Porter. He's got Kell Brook. Mikey Garcia. Now, Mikey Garcia is not a welterweight, but we can say that Porter, right, and Brook are good welterweights. They've been welterweight world champions. Amir Khan's obviously a very good fighter in his day. He was a good fighter, I believe, in his day. But when Crawford fought him, Amir Khan was past prime. David Benavidez was a one-legged fighter. Jeff Horn, never really rated him. I thought he got a gift decision against Manny Pacquiao. I thought, Sarafa beat him. So how good is Jeff Horn? Terence Crawford's win at welterweight, he does not deserve to be the best welterweight. Now, that's your opinion. If you think he's going to beat Spence and Porter, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But right now, as of right now, him being a guy with one belt and Errol Spence holding 2 belts, Terence Crawford is not the best welterweight in the world. His resume at welterweight is weak. And for me, if he was to fight Errol Spence, I think he loses. I think he loses to Manny Pacquiao. Terence Crawford for me is not the best welterweight in the world. People are trying to push this opinion that Crawford is the best. No, he's not. He's a good boxer. He's tricky, and he may be a problem for Errol Spence in my opinion, for a couple of rounds, and then I think Errol Spence is going to start walking him down and start pressurizing him. And I don't think Crawford is going to be strong enough or big enough to hold Errol Spence off. I do think Terence Crawford's a little overhyped, if I'm honest with you. I think his resume is a little bit weak. I think the fact that he became an undisputed champion at 140, they're trying to make it out, but I don't think the guys that he fought, who did he beat? He beat Lundy, he beat Victor Posto, he beat Julio Sondongo. We're not talking about elite fighters there, we're talking about world champions. In my opinion, average world champions, right? Put it this way, a lot of you give Khan a lot of stick, right? Say he's got no chin. Be honest to yourself. If Khan fought Henrik Lundy, Victor Posto, and Julio Sondongo, don't you think he would have become undisputed champion? Bearing in mind, he was 1 fight away in a much tougher division that he was fighting in, right? A much tougher division, a division that had Kotelnik, Maidana, Matisse, Zab Judah, Paulie Malignaggi, Lamont Peterson. A division that had that. He was 1 fight away, right? 1 fight away from being undisputed champion, right? The guys that I've mentioned that Terence Crawford just fought at 140 were fairly poor, right? Compared to the guys that I've just mentioned in Khan's era. So what I'm trying to point out to you guys is that Terence Crawford, listen, he's a good fighter. There's no doubt about it. The man can fight. I'm not doubting his fighting ability. What I'm trying to say to you guys is that his resume at welterweight is very weak, right? He hasn't fought who Errol Spence fought. He has not even got... Manny Pacquiao's win at welterweight is better. Or Manny Pacquiao's beaten many welterweights. If we talk his whole career, I'm just talking of recent, right? Keith Thurman is a better win than anyone that Errol Spence that Terence Crawford has fought. So Terence Crawford's resume at welterweight is weak, and just generally his resume is weak, right? He's not got the greatest resume in the world. And if I'm honest with you, there's no way I can say he's the best welterweight right now. There's no way. I'm sorry. I also think Errol, Spence and Pacquiao beats him. So that's my take on it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay guys, what's going on? I'm going to do a fantasy fight here. Someone's asked me that, Imran, you did a video the other day saying that Gennady Golovkin said that he would move down to 154 to fight Floyd. Who do I think would have won if that fight had taken place at 154? Because there was no way Floyd was going to move up to 160. But if Gennady Golovkin did do what he said he would do and move down to 154 and fight Floyd Mayweather, who do I think would have won? Basically, I think anyone that would have fought Floyd at 154 would have lost. I think Gennady Golovkin was obviously... I think Gennady Golovkin's best chance of beating Floyd would have been at 160. Getting Floyd to come up there, and Gennady Golovkin being strong and too big, possibly at 160. I think he probably, would have possibly been too big, and just the fact that he would have been too strong. But I do think at 154, Gennady Golovkin would have been a shell of himself. I think he would have been drained. I don't think Gennady Golovkin's ever fought at 154. And I just think that, although Abel Sanchez said that, Gennady Golovkin wasn't a big middleweight, I do think that it would have been struggle for him to come down to 154, and he would have been drained. And I think Floyd Mayweather would have taken advantage of that and beat him. And just the fact that Floyd Mayweather is a different beast. He's a guy that doesn't get hit a lot. He's a guy that's... He's just, in my opinion, Mayweather's just... He's different. He can outbox you. He's got a lot about him. And I just think Floyd Mayweather would have beaten Golovkin at 154. Mayweather would have definitely outboxed him and found a way to get the job done, like he always does. I don't think anyone would have beaten Mayweather. Very, very difficult. I think Mayweather would have been... It's a very tricky puzzle to solve, because he's a guy that he's hard to hit. Not the most exciting to watch. He's quite boring, but he's hard to hit. He's very tricky. He knows what he needs to do inside the ring, and he finds a way. Mayweather found a way to win, whether it was not the prettiest way and not sometimes ugly, but he found a way to win. Mayweather was a winner, and I just think he would have beat Golovkin. I think Golovkin's quite basic. He takes a good punch, and he walks you down, and people may say, well, if he starts walking Floyd down, because Floyd's not going to be able to hurt him. I just think that Mayweather would outbox him. I think Mayweather would outbox him and find a way at 154. I think Golovkin would be drained, and I think Mayweather finds a way and beats him and probably wins a points decision like he always does. I don't think it would have been safe for Golovkin to come down to 154, and I think he would have made that move. And the reason why Sanchez and Golovkin were doing that, because I think it was out of desperation. I think Golovkin had no money fights, right, and nobody was willing to fight him. And I think it got to the stage where they started becoming desperate, and they wanted big fights and big paydays, because Golovkin was getting older, and Golovkin was in a position where he wasn't making the big dough. And they started thinking that, we may have to, go down to 154 to get this big payday, the big fight. But the fact that I think they became stubborn with Canelo, that they didn't want to go down to 154, just because of the fact that they felt Canelo could come up to 160, and they thought Canelo was a big puncher. If he was to fight at 154, that would suit him, whereas Mayweather wasn't a risky fight to fight in terms of Golovkin getting hurt. But Canelo had the ability and the power to hurt Golovkin. And I think they knew that if we go down to 154, it could be dangerous against someone like Canelo. Whereas Mayweather, the chances of Mayweather being able to hurt Golovkin are minimal, if I'm honest. But they felt they could probably use their size, their strength, to wear Mayweather down. But I don't think so. I think Mayweather would have found a way. I think Kell Brook did well against Golovkin. Danny Jacobs did well against Golovkin. Canelo did well against Golovkin. Let's not forget, Mayweather beat Canelo. I know styles make fights, but I just think that Mayweather would have found a way. Mayweather was very difficult to hit. Golovkin's quite flat-footed. Yes, he moves well on his feet, he cuts the ring off, whatever, but Mayweather is a brilliant athlete. He's very smart. He knows what he needs to do. And for me, I think he would have found a way and beat Golovkin. That's just my personal opinion. Mayweather always finds a way. He always finds a way, and he's very tricky, very hard to beat. So I would have favoured Mayweather in that fight, if I'm honest. And I think most of you probably would have as well, just because of the fact Mayweather was so tricky, and the fact that Mayweather would have killed Golovkin to come down to 154. Not killed because he agreed to that himself. He wanted to go down to 154 to fight Mayweather because he knew Mayweather wouldn't come up to 160. Then he knew it would be a huge payday against Mayweather. And he has an opportunity to beat a legend. So I can understand why Golovkin wanted to fight Mayweather. I just don't think at 154 he would have been able to beat him. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So Terence Crawford says that I'm hoping the Manny Pacquiao fight is next. What Terence Crawford said: my next fight should be Pacquiao. We're in talks with Team Pacquiao, and I've been hoping that fight can be made. But anything after that, I really can't say, because I'm only looking forward to the next fight. So if we can get that fight secure and signed, then hopefully that can be our next fight. There he goes on to say, once it came to a point where it was some of the big fighters, they didn't want to put them in the ring with me, because they didn't want to have Top Rank have edge over their head, where one of the fighters took out one of their top welterweights. So in the sense that PBC just fight each other, let's just take each other out and see what he does in the meantime, and we'll go from there. So that's what Terence Crawford had to say. He's saying that he hopes that the Pacquiao fight gets done. He hopes that him and Pacquiao can get it on. He believes that the Pacquiao fight is very likely to happen next. I think that's a realistic fight, and there is a lot of talk coming out that Manny Pacquiao may fight Terence Crawford next. I don't know. Is it the best fight for Manny Pacquiao financially? Probably not. I think there's other fights that he could have that are probably easier fights and make more money. But it does look like Manny Pacquiao. He's been talking about a Golovkin fight, which I very highly doubt. If I'm honest with you, I don't think he's gonna fight. I don't think he's gonna fight Golovkin. So a fight with him and Terence Crawford is probably what people want to see. People want to see an undisputed champion, and this will be one step closer to an undisputed champion. I think it's a great fight. I think it's a fight that the fans would love to see. I think it's a fight that makes a lot of sense for both fighters. Terence Crawford obviously wants to prove himself as a top welterweight. Manny Pacquiao wants to see if he's still able to beat some of the top pound for pound fighters today. I do think Manny Pacquiao beats Terence Crawford. I've said it all along. I fancy him in the fight. I know a lot of people think Crawford's going to win, but I fancy Pacquiao. I've heavily fancied Pacquiao. I don't think Crawford's got the greatest chin in the world. I think he's a good boxer, great southpaw, great orthodox fighter as well. He's a great switch hitter. But I just think there's weaknesses and there's chinks in those armor. I think he gets hit a lot, and I think his chin is a bit suspect. And I think someone like Manny Pacquiao could definitely take advantage of what we've seen in Crawford's career thus far, which is a suspect chin. A guy that gets hit a lot in fights. And I do think Crawford hasn't got that kind of power where he's going to be stopping Manny Pacquiao. So I think Manny Pacquiao is going to be there all night. Can Crawford fiddle himself to a points decision? Yes, he could. A lot of people think that Bob Arum, if Manny Pacquiao fights Terence Crawford, there's a great opportunity that Manny could get robbed. Well, obviously Manny from his side has got to make sure he's got everything secure. He's got to make sure that everything from his side, in terms of judges, in terms of everything is put in place. But again, there's not much you can do if the powers are with Crawford. In the sense that judges and that are on his side because they want the younger man to win, so then his career can blossom as a result of it. Then that's that's the risk that Manny's going to have to take, and Manny's just going to have to look to knock him out. That's what I say. If you're worried about what the judges may do, then just go in there looking to knock your opponent out. Manny's got to leave, no doubt. He's got to go in there and look to stop him, which is a possibility, because, like I said, I do think Crawford is suspect. But he gets hit a lot as well, Crawford. However, he is known for being a cagey fighter. But I don't think he's anything like Andre Ward and Mayweather. I think he's a lot more offensive. And I don't think he's as defensively as sound as they were. I think, Crawford, there's a lot of leaks in his game where he gets hit with quite a few punches. Chin, again, you don't want to be getting hit a lot when your chin's suspect. And Crawford has shown a bit of vulnerability against lesser punches, than Pacquiao. We're talking about Gamboa, we're talking about Kavalauskas hitting and hurting him. So, Manny Pacquiao's a different kettle of fish to those guys. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see Manny Pacquiao in there with Crawford. I think it's a great fight. I think it makes for a great fight. But what do you guys think? Is that a fight that you want to see? Is that a fight that you think makes a lot of sense? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Manny Pacquiao and Crawford will be the next fight? Leave it for both men. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.
I want to thank you all for me reaching 7,000 subs. I appreciate your support. Guys, as you can probably see from my channel art, I have recently started Patreon and Blogger. If you were to click on this icon here, it will take you to my Patreon page, and I just want to take you through my Patreon page. So at the minute, I've got 2 options. Hopefully, I will increase this if my Patreon grows. But at the minute, I've got one option, which is $1 a month fan donation, which will obviously help me produce better quality content on YouTube and faster for you guys. And I've got another option of $3 a month for 2 live streams a week discussing boxing with myself. You guys will get to speak to me face to face, and I'll take you to my boxing blog. So if you were to click on this B sign here, it will take you to my boxing blogs, which is this page here. And all you have to do is click on here, and that will take you to my boxing blogs, where you can see all my different articles that I've wrote. So as you can see, I've wrote 6 articles about different topics. So if you want to click on one of my articles, all you got to do is click on this, and it will take you straight to the article, and you can read it, and you can then go back and read the others if you would like. But yeah, guys, I thought I'd just highlight this to you. So make sure to read my articles. Make sure to subscribe to my Patreon if you're interested. And guys, I thank you for your support. I thank you for me reaching 7,000 subs. Guys, I'm out.